Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. A little touch and go, if you will. How about that? We all finally learned what TAG stood for after this movie came out. I didn't know, and then Facebook went nuts. It's touch and go. It's pretty good. I used to love playing tag. Well, these guys continue to do it in their adult life. Evidently, they have it. I don't know if it's an annual thing. They're classmates, and they have an annual game of tag, which has travel and stuff like that. So I don't know. When I first envisioned it, I just assumed like if I ever saw my friend, you know, who lives in a different state or something like that, and I tag him, you know what I mean? It just keeps going and going and going. This suggests to me that there's more of an annual game. I also saw previews, which I don't normally like to do, and one guy never gets it or something like that. But Jeremy Renner, Ed Harris, Jake Johnson, John Hamm, and Isla Fisher. So there's a lot of good people in this one, right? Leslie Bibb, Rashada Jones. I mean, come on. I think it's got a good cast. It's got a good premise, and hopefully it's got a good rating. Well, real quick before I cut you loose, IMDb 6.7. Ooh, that's a little disappointing. I got a little insight on it, but I'm not going to share it with you. I'm going to start watching this movie and tell you a little bit more about what it's about, and hopefully it's better than that 6.7. That's what we've been waiting for. So I'll get into it a little bit, and I'll check back in. Stick around. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching TAG, and we are at the 48 minutes and 57 second mark. To be honest with you, it's going very fast, which I think says a lot. I think when movies go like this, they're better. I think you kind of get engrossed in the movie and you enjoy it, and that's what I'm doing right now. So I had no idea. I was like, hey, let me see what time we're around. It's kind of an interesting part's coming up. And here it is. We're almost at, halfway over the movie. We're over halfway over the movie. All right. Or whatever. 48 minutes. Anyway, so, as I had said, it's about a group of friends who every May, for the past 30 years, have played tag. So it's for the whole month of May, and the thought is whoever the last person is, wears it as a badge of shame for the whole year. That person was it. So they travel all over the place, and the thought is that it brings them back together, because they go around and they try and find each other. And it's kind of cool, like in the beginning, how they all set it up. Like, people have important jobs, and they're just leaving them to go play tag with these guys. And the guy, Jeremy Renner's character, has never been tagged. And that's the big thing. They got to find a way to get him at least get him tagged. And he's getting married to Leslie Bibb, but he didn't invite any of them because of that. So they're trying to conspire and figure out a way to get him So I found it very interesting. It's neat how they all come back together, to see each other and reconnect in their lives. That's what I was thinking of. Now, in comes, so they're now moving towards the wedding, and hold on real quick, I'm going to get her name, Rashada Jones. That's what I thought. Okay, so Rashada Jones now has entered the picture, and it's kind of taking the plot, I think, in a different direction at this point. So she's come in. Now these guys, everybody else has been friends, for all 30 years, whatever, and so they know a lot about each other. And two of the guys, John Hamm and Jack Johnson's character, both liked Rashada Jones's character. And so now she's coming back into the picture, and you can see that there's a love interest, and it's going to take it down that path where these two friends are going to start vying for the love of her, is what I'm assuming. I don't know that much. I just stopped. I figured that's the way it's going to go now. I don't know if they're going to veer away from the tag aspect and take it this way. I hope not. They got to keep this tag thing going on, although I do see how it can kind of get old, but that's the point of the movie. But there are some funny moments throughout the thing. It's not just all tag and action and stuff like that, but some of the action's silly, but the one-liners are pretty good, and I like how they like I said, they get together every year. And I think about it, they go back to their old neighborhood and the basement that they hang out in. And not very similar, but I do fantasy football, and every year for fantasy football we all come together for one day, and play a game. So, you know, in a sense, we draft our players. So I kind of see it, man. I got, you know, people coming in from different states, Alabama, West Virginia, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so enough about that, but that's why I'm kind of connected with it. The other thing I forgot to mention, that's why I looked at my phone, was John Hamm's character. He's the CEO of a Fortune 800 company, and he's being interviewed by a reporter from the Wall Street Journal. Well, while that's happening, the tag starts to break out. Ed Helms shows up and they start to play tag. Anyway, the interesting point is the reporter has decided that this is so interesting that she wants to follow him around and create a story. So that's how she's involved in this, and she's documenting it all. Don't know what's going to happen with that, but interesting concept that she's going to go all over the place and watch them play tag. So far so good. Worth watching up until this point. We'll see if it goes in the wrong direction and derails what I think is a good film so far. So stick around. We'll find out together. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of tag, and I think I was calling him Jack Johnson and Jake Johnson, sorry, just to correct all the times I said it wrong last time. But and Hannibal Buress is in this, and he was funny. The credits are going, and now I remember Rashad Jones. Didn't like her or Leslie Bibb so much. I didn't like them. Rashad Jones was just if I'm saying her name right, she was in The Office. I thought she was funny then, and some other things that she did post The Office, but she seemed too serious. So Leslie Bibb makes a lot of strange faces. She was, you know, I've seen her in some other things, but she does that. So, but otherwise, I did like Jeremy Renner. His character was okay. Ed Helms, I actually enjoyed. John Hamm, I liked, and Hannibal Buress, I think were my favorites. And Helms, you know, sometimes good, sometimes not so good. And this one, I enjoyed him. He definitely didn't ruin the movie for me. And some other things quickly to mention. I know as I'm seeing the credits, I'm just thinking of things, but there's that love story triangle thing going on, but it doesn't take away. They didn't stop playing or anything like that. The game continues. I had received information that there'd be more tag playing. They thought there'd be more tag playing than there was, but it really is all tag playing. Some of the areas of opportunity I feel were the tag sequences. So there's a lot of cool where they run around and they jump through stuff and they get away. But then there's like martial arts, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff, you know, and that was, you know, I thought that was a little much. I get it. But I could have done without that. I even jumping through windows fine, but not using like a handbag like nunchucks to fight somebody off. So that was, they're my areas of opportunity. I think that, Rashad Jones, Leslie Bibb, Isla Fisher, she was good, not great. I thought her character a little over the top at times for me. But, you know, like I said, Jeremy Renner's character is getting married. He doesn't even invite his friends to the wedding. They should be in the wedding. Okay. But other than that, I did like it. I thought it was entertaining. You know what the end game is. Are they going to get him? Are they not going to get him? How's it all going to happen? And, you know, that's the interesting part. But the one-liners, a lot of the one-liners that are in it made me laugh. And so I'm debating as I'm coming to tell you the end of this that I can't vote a 7. Is it a 6 or is it an 8? Well, one big thing I totally forgot to tell you at the beginning. This is based on a true story. So I'm sure a lot of the facts are the same, but this was, they've been playing it for 23 years, the other group of men, and they show footage of them actually playing, like they run around with cell phones and do it and stuff like that. And you could see a lot of the things that they did in this movie, they actually did in real life. So I think that's really cool. And they did a pretty good job with the movie. I would probably call it a 7 if I could, but I can't. I don't think it's bad enough to go down to a 6. I'm going with an 8 on it. I know nobody really cares at this point, but I definitely think it's worth watching. It's a lot of fun, especially, you know, if you have old friends that you always want to reconnect with. That's here. And the one-liners, I thought were pretty good. The jokes that go throughout. Hannibal Buress, I think, was probably the funniest to me. But let me know what you think if you watch it. Let me know who you thought was funny. If you thought I was funny at all, or if you just hated it and I did a lousy job on this movie review. Any comments, I welcome. So thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Kimmel's Irish Pub.